anymore. When you introduce the sentence with a subordinate clause followed by the main clause, then you put the comma. So if the subordinate clause comes first, then it's followed by a comma, then the main clause, okay? So right here, you start out with the subordinate clause, with this introduced by the subordinate conjunction, because Johnny went home, comma, we had to stop playing, okay? And the main clause is we had to stop playing. You have to have one main clause, at least one main clause in the sentence, all right, in order to have a complete thought. The main clause gives you the complete thought. Because Johnny went home, you can't do that. But we can go, we had to stop playing. If we just had that alone, that's fine. Okay, that's your complete thought there. That is a complete thought. We had to stop playing. All right. But if you go, because Johnny went home, well, Johnny went home, what? You know, I mean, that sentence is not complete. All right, not a complete thought. All right. So, and then here is, okay, and then I added another subordinate clause there. Okay, to connect all three of the clauses on the previous page, connecting all three of them here. Okay, so, okay, it goes, because Johnny went home, comma, we had to stop playing, comma, since we did not have enough players. Okay, so that's one, that is a one complete sentence there. It's got three clauses and it has two subordinate clauses and one main clause. Okay, the two subordinate clauses introduced by the conjunctions. Because and since. Because Johnny went home, we had to stop playing since we did not have enough players. Okay, there's our one complete sentence there with one main clause. We had to stop playing. The two subordinate clauses are because Johnny went home and since we did not have enough players. Okay, and this sentence here would be a complex sentence. Okay, and a complex sentence has one main clause and at least one subordinate clause. Okay, one main clause and at least one subordinate clause. Okay, so that's what we have there, because we have two subordinate clauses. Okay, because Johnny went home, since we did not have enough players. Okay, those are two subordinate clauses. And the main clause, we had to stop playing. Because Johnny went home, we had to stop playing since we did not have enough players. Okay? All right. So, let's see. Okay, here's our 4 types of clause sentences. Okay? Okay, we have the simple sentence. We have one main clause, no subordinate clause. Just the one main clause. That's all we have in a simple sentence. Okay, Johnny went home. Okay, there you go. There's your simple sentence there. We did not have enough players. Okay, there's another simple sentence. Okay, complex sentence. Okay, we have one main clause and at least one subordinate clause. Okay, that was the previous sentence I was doing. Because Johnny went home, we had to stop playing since we did not have enough players. Okay, so there's 2 subordinate clauses there, and we had the one main clause. That's a complex sentence. Okay, you have one main clause and at least one subordinate clause. So you, at least one meaning you could have 2. You could have 4 subordinate clauses in the sentence with one main clause. You have a complex sentence there. All right, now you have a compound sentence, and you have 2 or more main clauses and no subordinate clauses. Johnny went home, so we had to stop playing. Okay, those are two main clauses connected by the coordinating conjunction so, all right, which connects two main clauses. Johnny went home, so we had to stop playing. Okay, there's a compound sentence right there. All right, and compound complex sentence now. That's just combining like the compound and the complex over here, but it's just compound complex means you can have two main clauses and you have at least one subordinate clause. So you can have like two main clauses and two subordinate clauses, or three main clauses and one subordinate clause, or three main clauses and two subordinate clauses. Okay, all right. Compound complex sentence has two or more main clauses and at least one subordinate clause. All right. So, okay. So those are your four types of clause constructed sentences. All right. Your four types of clause constructed sentences right there. Okay. Which is a simple, just one main clause, the complex, one main clause and at least one subordinate clause, compound sentence, two or more main clauses, and a compound complex sentence, two or more main clauses and at least one subordinate clause. All right. And the important thing is about all these different clause constructed sentences is that you have to have at least one main clause, because the main clause gives you the complete thought. And all you need is just one main clause to have a sentence. All right, because that will give you the complete thought. All right, and what takes away the complete thought is actually when you add an extra word. Seems kind of weird. You add an extra word, you think you have even more of a complete thought, but actually you take away the complete thought because you're adding, like say, a subordinate conjunction. And if it's like before, after, or since, Johnny went home, no problem. That is a sentence. It is a main clause. It is a complete thought. But put a subordinate conjunction in front of it, like because Johnny went home, or after Johnny went home, since Johnny went home. You say, okay, since Johnny went home, what? Because Johnny went home, what? After Johnny went home, what? Okay, so, all right, it's the, again, I'm emphasizing that a subordinate conjunction is what turns a main clause into a subordinate clause. And also that when you have a subordinate clause, it only stands for one part of speech. It only stands for an adverb or noun, for instance, if it is a subordinate conjunction, or if it's a relative pronoun like who, which, or that, then it stands for, the entire adjective clause stands for one word, an adjective. And that's it, one part of speech, an adjective, the adjective clause. Okay, so those are the two things I'm emphasizing here. And, it's just, I just want to like do these things where I'm emphasizing certain things so maybe people understand like a certain concept or whatever. If I'm just hammering away at just a couple of things, to learn English grammar, you're going to have to go beyond just like, say, one person teaching you. I don't think it's constructive really to sit here and try to cover every little nuance of like an adjective clause or a subordinate clause or subordinate conjunctions or whatever. And I'm saying like here's the way how you learn grammar. Okay, 4 steps. Read. That's the most important thing. Read about grammar, or just read stories, read books. Okay, or even reading comic books. All right. Although some comic books, everything is an exclamatory sentence. They like to have a lot of drama in comic books, so they'll put an exclamation point after every single sentence, or like a question mark, but I mean, they just have everything like intense and drama, and everyone's yelling at each other the whole time. So, it's all that intensity and drama in these comic books, especially those superhero comic books. Okay, so how to learn grammar. Again, read, most important thing. Write, okay, right after you're reading stuff, write it down. Okay, that's what Bill Gates does. He reads a book and he wants to make sure that he's paying attention or he's absorbing what he's reading. He starts writing notes right away. Okay, so yeah, you can find some articles on Bill Gates about that stuff. Okay, the third step is to listen. Just listen to movies or video games or whatever. English grammar. You just listen to people speak grammar. Okay, you're going to pick up a lot of slang. It's probably improper grammar, but that's good enough. I mean, you just bottom line is you want to like communicate, and a lot of people put casual grammar in their books. Even it goes back to like Mark Twain. When he's writing the way Huckleberry Finn talks. It's a lot of slang in it. So, all right. So, yeah. All right. So you got to listen. Okay. Speak. After you listen, read, write, listen, speak, try to speak grammar. All right. Try to speak the proper grammar if you can. But it's okay. Slang grammar, whatever. Just try to be understood. All right. So, okay. So, what'd you guys learn anything today in these clauses? Oh yeah, man. I know something about a clause, man. I know about lobster claws. That's what I know about. I know about lobster claws. Very funny, very funny. Oh yeah. Hold on, man. Hold on. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hello. Hello. Hello there. So, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I know something about Claudia too. I know about Santa Claus. Oh no. Come on, Ma, don't encourage her. Plain applause. That's the applause I know about. Plain applause. No, this is what I know about. I know about Minnie's claws. She's got like crab claws for hands. Oh no, I don't. Oh no, I don't. I tell you what, man. I tell you what I do with my crab claws, man. I claw your face. Okay. Okay. We can calm down about that. All right. So you guys. All right. So I think that's it for today. Okay. So this is another edition of Halloween Horror Grammar. Woo! Woo! And grammar is a horror, one of the ultimate horrors, because it has too many rules. You just can't wrap your head around all these rules. You just want to write, but I'm just trying to respect the system a little bit. I want to write some stories, but I'm trying to learn some grammar here. Okay, and like these 4 steps: read, write, listen, speak, grammar. That's what I'm doing. I'm reading. Okay, I'm reading. Then I'm writing stuff down. And then I'm listening to stuff. I'm going around on YouTube and I'm listening to other grammarians and stuff like that. Okay, then I'm like, after I'm writing stuff, then I'm just speaking what I'm writing. And learning new stuff that way. Okay, and then I'm just sharing what I'm learning. Okay, so I'm doing the 4-step program right here. I was reading some Stephen King stuff, the other day, and then when you're thinking about all this grammar stuff that you're doing, you're watching how he's using the grammar, how he's utilizing the grammar. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. Just keep hammering away at that grammar. It means work on it as much as you can. You got to put the time in, and then after you put the time in, you get like a bunch of rules down. Then you just move on and just go to the fun stuff. Just start writing stories or writing jokes or writing, comic book story or whatever, okay? All right, so just keep hammering away here. Hammer the grammar, grammar speed, hammer the grammar, grammar speed, hammer speed. Oh no. Okay. Hammer speed. Oh, shut up. Blee. Blah. Goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, until next time, take care. I love you. Bye-bye.